and welcome to News Showcase. We wish you and all our viewers a happy new year. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter, with a roundup of the latest news. A tsunami has hit Japan's eastern coast after a strong earthquake with 7.6 magnitude struck the central region. The waves swept in along the coast of Ishikawa Prefecture shortly after Japan issued a major warning. The meteorology office has said bigger waves could hit the coast later. The initial earthquake was followed by 21 more quakes in a span of 90 minutes, which caused widespread damage to roads and buildings. Authorities also issued tsunami warnings for neighboring prefectures where they said waves could reach up to 3 meters. People posted videos of the earthquake from their homes and from subway stations. The country's largest nuclear power operator had said there were no abnormal signs at its plants in the affected region. India launched the Exosat this morning to explore the mysteries of the universe and the black holes. The country's space agency ISRO said the mission will help unravel the mysteries of the ultra-extreme environments in space. The satellite was carried by the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle on its 60th mission. Using X-ray photons, Exosat will help study the radiation from near black holes and neutron stars. Reports explained, when stars run out of fuel and die, they collapse under their own gravity and leave behind black holes or neutron stars. The cost of the Indian mission, which is only second in the world, is comparatively low at $30 million. A similar mission by NASA was launched in 2021 at a cost of $188 million. People in Tamil Nadu welcomed the New Year 2024 with rituals and celebrations at the stroke of midnight. Worshippers thronged temples across the state and offered prayers to deities and sought happiness and prosperity in the new year. Temples, big and small, saw a large turnout of devotees where special prayers were held. The Christian pilgrim town of Vailankani was packed with people from all faiths seeking blessings from the Almighty. Many of them on a pilgrimage came to the town with their families. People also gathered on Chennai's iconic Marina Beach, a preferred location among locals, to celebrate the new year. The popular beach in Besant Nagar also saw crowds building up since evening as the countdown to 2024 ticked on. Across India, people gathered at various places to welcome the new year. In Odisha, people assembled on the popular Puri beach to welcome the first light of 2024. The beach on the east coast is popular with tourists and locals. In Kolkata, known as India's cultural capital, curious onlookers lined up on the famous Howrah Bridge, which runs across the Hooghly River and one of India's oldest structures, commissioned in 1942. The country's most famous landmark, the Gateway of India in Mumbai, saw large crowds, which came to see the first sunrise of the new year. People also thronged clubs, restaurants, and hit the streets to welcome 2024 in their own way, as fireworks lit up the sky. As the dawn broke on the first day of 2024, Modera Sun Temple in Gujarat state set a new world record by holding Suryanamaskar with the most number of people. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel and Home Minister Harsh Sanghavi participated in the event on the first morning of the year 2024. The adjudicator at Guinness World Records confirmed that Modera has successfully set a new Guinness World Record title for most people doing Surya Namaskar. The Hindu temple on the banks of river Pushpavati is dedicated to the solar god, Surya. The specialty of the temple is the sun shines directly above it at noon without casting shadow. In Kashmir, people danced and sang at the famous Lal Chowk in the regional capital Srinagar. Crowds of people were seen near the iconic clock tower in the center of the city. As the clock struck 12, there were scenes of dancing as songs played out to welcome the new year. A city official described the scenes as something never seen before. Heavy security has been in place in the run-up to the new year in the sensitive region, which has been hit by an armed insurgency since 1988. Army and paramilitary forces have been stationed permanently in the region to abort attacks by militants. The scenic Jammu and Kashmir territory attracts many international and domestic tourists throughout the year. Srinagar was also covered in dense fog, which disrupted normal life across the Kashmir Valley. Reports said temperature dipped to 5.2 degrees Celsius as the region grappled with extreme cold. The fog also cut visibility to just meters, which affected transport services. The famous Dal Lake and other water bodies were frozen as the unusual scenes drew tourists to the site. The lake is a favorite among visitors who prefer to stay on houseboats or take a ride on the locally built boats, known as shikaras. Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh are among India's top tourist destinations in the north of the country, which draw people from around the world. Colorful celebrations took place around the world to welcome the new year. Dubai celebrated New Year with a laser show and fireworks display at the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. An elaborate drone show was also held in the nearby emirate of Ras Al Khaimah. Celebrations were held in Moscow, with the streets and roads decorated across the city, as it used to be before the Ukraine war. In Germany, the city of Berlin welcomed the new year with fireworks, as tens of thousands of people celebrated in the streets. At Athens in Greece, spectacular fireworks greeted 2024 that lit up the city, known for its ancient monuments of the Acropolis, as hundreds of people gathered at the central square. The Indian Health Ministry says one person died of COVID-19 infection in Tamil Nadu and two others in Kerala in the past day, according to data updated till morning. The ministry also said there are over 4,000 active COVID-19 cases in the country as of today, and the figure includes over 600 new cases. It said the number of daily cases had dropped to double digits till December 5th, but cases surged in the wake of a new variant and cold weather conditions. It also said the daily figure was in lakhs at the peak of the pandemic in early 2020. According to official data, the number of people who recovered from the disease stands at over 4.4 crore, with the nationwide recovery rate at 98.81%. U.S. Navy helicopters have killed 10 Houthi rebels and sank 4 of their boats in the Red Sea. The U.S. military said 4 vessels operated by the Houthis from Yemen fired upon the Maersk Hangzhou merchant ship and got within meters of the vessel. It also said the cargo ship had sent out a distress call when the rebels tried to board it. Houthi rebels have announced their backing for Hamas and attacked commercial ships in the Red Sea that were headed to Israel. Reports said there have been more than 100 drone and missile attacks on ships in the region since November. Many major shipping companies have changed their routes to avoid the Red Sea as a precaution. The Israeli military has indicated the war in Gaza could continue throughout 2024. Ironically, the grim warning came in a New Year message issued by the military. It said troops were being adjusted for a prolonged war. According to Hamas militants, who are Israel's target, nearly 22,000 people have been already killed in Gaza, including many children. The latest fighting started after Hamas attacked Israel's southern border, killing over 1,000 Israelis and over 200 others were taken hostage. Israel's indiscriminate bombing and airstrikes in Gaza have continued since October, setting off global calls for a pause in the military operations. The U.S. has vetoed UN resolutions that called for a truce to let humanitarian supplies reach the civilians. China's President Xi Jinping has stressed again that Taiwan would be reunified with China. Xi's comments in his New Year message comes ahead of the presidential election in Taiwan next week. China has increased military pressure on Taiwan and referred to it as part of the same family. Taiwan considers itself distinct from the Chinese mainland, with its own constitution and democratically elected leaders, but China considers the territory as a breakaway province. The issue has raised tensions between China and the U.S., as Washington provides political and military backing for the administration in Taiwan. But the year started on a positive note, with both sides greeting each other on New Year. Australian cricketer David Warner has announced his retirement from one-day international. He also retired from Test cricket ahead of an ongoing series with Pakistan. Reports quoting Warner said that he was very comfortable with his decision and retiring would create opportunities for new players. He played a key role in helping Australia win the Cricket World Cup against India last year, in which he was the top run scorer. He said he felt the time was right to step back after an absolutely amazing World Cup win. Reports also said he did not rule out playing in the 2025 Champions Trophy if called upon. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.